Whoa, it's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. I'm with my trusty sidekick in the background, Baby Al. He found himself a bunch of rocks to play with. I think he's super stoked. You know, there's a bunch of things that, you know, when you're aware of some stuff, right? You're aware of it early on, and it doesn't crystallize or solidify maybe for decades, maybe overnight. And then it really gels into a concept. So I remember I was driving down Central California somewhere, probably stoned, and it dawned on me that I was living in somebody else's reality, right? Like, and I might have talked about this on other videos. You know, the neighborhoods are lined up in squares, you know, houses are square, everything is like a certain color, and all the signs are uniformed, and everything's kind of uniform. And then, so it dawned on me that like somebody had organized all of this reality that I was experiencing. You know, somebody had, groups of people had decided, you know, a stop sign's an octagon and red, and you know, a grid pattern for streets only makes sense if they're squares, and you know, everything needs to be square. So we got to get the little man in on this. So I knew at that time that I was living in somebody else's idea of reality. But I didn't really know exactly what that meant. I just knew that I was a prisoner to it, and I spent a lot of my life trying to escape from that created reality. But I didn't quite understand the true ramifications of that understanding, being that I could create a new reality. But I was still welded to the system in the sense that a lot of people must have done this, and that, you know, I remember all that propaganda, you know, one person can't change the world and all that kind of stuff in school. And now I'm at this stage of my life, that must have been 25 years ago, right? Where I've gained information, changed my perceptions, and I realized that, and I was listening to someone else talk about this, but that we can fully change this reality. Like, it is 100% possible to change this reality. The problem for most people, and I think I was a victim of this for a long time, is what do you change it to? What do you change it to? And that's where like a lot of people have a lack of imagination, don't imagine stuff, so they can't envision a world that's not made of squares and red octagons. So when I began to, I think Owl's the one who really showed me a new way of perceiving. Maybe that was the missing component, is someone who is creating their own reality. Like, I watch him, he's not bound by the same information stream I was bound by, right? You know, I get to be his teacher, so I'm already, right? If I'm his teacher, he already is getting a different stream of information than your average kid. Because I've already woken up to a lot of the traps. I'm all like, he's grown up in a world without television, right? So his imagination isn't bound by television. And I think that's part of like why I had a chance. I didn't have a television in my life in the beginning till I was like 7 maybe. Maybe it might have been 7 when I saw my first television. That's a different tangent. So as I try to alter my reality and change the world I live in by perceiving it different, it slowly is shifting. I've really noticed how I've been able to alter this reality this year, mainly because I've chosen to imagine differently. I've chosen to view the tools at my disposal differently, right? And so the more and more Owl teaches me how to perceive the world differently. Like, look at him. He's just in a pile of rocks doing whatever he does. Totally content. Totally content to the world. Aren't you? That's a good rock, huh? You want to come show us some rocks? Why don't you bring a couple of your rocks over here? And so, what is that new reality I have to imagine more so? And it's super simple, man. It's a lot more gratitude. And the more I have gratitude, the less I need straight lines. The less I need perfection. The less I need grid networks. The less I need red octagons, man. And so, when I'm in the more gratitude I have, the easier it is to be in a state of love, right? Love with the world. What happened? And when I'm in love with the world, I judge it less. I have less judgment about the world. And so I'm able to perceive the world differently. And because I'm able to perceive the world differently, the lines become even less straight and more trippy. And I guess that's what it's about, is, for me, is as much as I'm fully aware that the things we love are used as tools against us. Like, I love Mother Nature, I love ecosystems, I love trees and nature and wildlife. I realize that the controllers of this reality would use that love to have me be a slave to it, right? And ultimately not be able to change that, right? Like, I think I made a video about the global warming thing. Like that. Like, basically, go live in a box and die to save the planet. When that's not helping anything. You know, it's get outside of the box and live is what's gonna save the planet. Because after all, in a weird way, the planet does not need any saving. That is total an ego-based, straight line perspective. Mother Nature is perfect. God, because Mother Nature is God, is created by God, and God's perfect. So kind of have to shove that one around a little bit to have it make sense, but it makes total sense to me. And that's why I get a lot of people who don't respect the earth and nature. I don't really get and say they love God. Like, I don't know, man. I know that nature is not the primary God, that nature came from God and it's a reflection of God's perfection. Just as the thing destroying nature is a reflection of man's ego and lack of perfection. So, I'm just sitting here thinking about how I can alter my reality by accepting my reality and allowing it to be perfect and being more like him. I just need to be more like Owl. That's all I need to do. And that is right. That is the proof that I can alter my universe. Anyway, I don't know if I made any sense, but whatever. Just another video from the illusion. Massive one. Get a jacket. Don't forget, you can get my hats too and my t-shirts.